So all these guys knew what was at stake. And I'm just ashamed that they put themselves and put their family and put the NBA in this position.
But as you now know, individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today. Former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing.
I'm watching a press conference with the director of the FBI. Tell me when we've seen that. We've seen people, we've seen accusations before. We've seen athletes get in trouble with the law before. You don't see the director of the FBI having a press conference.
The lights were supposed to shine on Victor Wembanyama's historic 40-point season opener. Instead, the NBA woke up to handcuffs, FBI press conferences, and the Mafia. This isn't a movie script. This is October 23rd, 2025, and the league is in absolute chaos.
Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchesi crime families.
Thursday morning, opening week of the NBA season, and FBI Director Kash Patel drops a nuclear bomb on professional basketball. Operation Nothing But Bet, 34 arrests, 11 states, 4 major Italian crime families, the Bonanno, Genovese, Gambino, and Lucchesi families. And standing in the center of this catastrophe, NBA legends, Portland Trail Blazers, head coach Chauncey Billups, Hall of Famer, NBA champion, Finals MVP, arrested at his home in Portland. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, arrested in an Orlando hotel room at 6 a.m., walked into court in handcuffs and shackles. Former NBA player and coach Damon Jones, arrested for leaking injury information about LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
Over 30 individuals in 11 states is a monstrous thing. Never have we had a sitting head coach be involved in something like this. I think it's a stain on the NBA.
This isn't about a few bad bets. This is systematic corruption involving tens of millions of dollars, high-tech poker scams, and insider information that could have swung entire games. U.S. Attorney Joseph Nocella called it one of the most brazen sports corruption schemes since online sports betting became widely legalized in the United States.
But my message to the defendants who've been rounded up today is this: your winning streak has ended. Your luck has run out. Violating the law is a losing proposition, and you can bet on that.
FBI Director Kash Patel didn't hold back. The fraud is mind-boggling. We're talking about tens of millions of dollars in theft, fraud, and robbery.
They'll wait 2, 3, 4, 5 years, but when they come knocking on your door, they have something. And we all know the letter of the law when it comes to gambling and sports gambling, and I don't want to sit up here like I'm some perfect guy.
And just like that, the NBA's season opener became a crime scene. Let's start with Terry Rozier, because his case reads like a heist movie, except the vault wasn't cash, it was his own stats. March 23, 2023, Charlotte Hornets versus New Orleans Pelicans. Rozier was playing for the Hornets at the time. Within 1 hour before tip-off, professional bettors placed around 30 wagers, all betting that Rozier would underperform his averages. And what happened? Rozier played just 9 minutes, left the game with a mysterious foot injury. Every single one of his stats fell short of expectations. Points, rebounds, assists, all under. Those bets, they cashed out. Big time. Over $200,000 in illegal prop bets paid out to his co-conspirators. According to the FBI, Rozier tipped off his childhood friend De Niro Laster that he would fake the injury and exit early. Laster collected the winnings, drove through the night to Rozier's house, and together they counted the profits like a scene straight out of Ocean's 11. But here's the twist. The NBA investigated Rozier back in 2023. Sportsbooks flagged the aberrational betting patterns. The league brought him in. He handed over his phone. He sat for interviews, and the NBA cleared him. On Friday night, Commissioner Adam Silver admitted,
"We frankly couldn't find anything Terry at the time cooperated. He gave the league office his phone. He sat down for an interview, and we ultimately concluded that there was insufficient evidence, despite that aberrational behavior, to move forward.
Translation? The NBA saw smoke. They smelled fire, but they let him keep playing. Fast forward to 2025. The FBI reopens the case, and now they're alleging Rozier was involved in at least 7 games between December 2022 and March 2024. Games involving the Hornets, Magic, Lakers, Raptors, and Trailblazers. Rozier's lawyer, James Trusty, fired back hard.
They had every opportunity to let him self-surrender. It's not a constitutional right, but it's a very typical courtesy when you've been dealing with the defense attorney for a while. And on a case, it's not a violent case in terms of Terry Rozier. So all they had to do, they could have called me at 6 o'clock this morning and said, come to New York, and I would have made that happen. Instead, they wanted to have a little arrest, a little perp walk, a little support of their press conference up in New York, and it was completely avoidable.
Have you been briefed that the NBA investigation was reviewed by the FBI prior to the arrest? Do you know if any of that information was relayed to you prior to this part of their investigation?
What I can tell you is there's a lot of people that are very close-lipped about what happened in 2023, but what I was told is there was an investigation, they interviewed him twice, they took his phone, downloaded everything, and at the end of the day, they said there's nothing to see here and cleared him. And that was a very professional investigation. It wasn't something that was perfunctory. You had FBI agents, you had a vice president within the NBA that was a former prosecutor in SDNY. So it was the real deal. They looked at the same stuff and they said there's nothing here, but we got a trophy hunt.
He said, they wanted the misplaced glory of embarrassing a professional athlete with a perp walk. Terry is not a gambler, but he is not afraid of a fight. But the evidence? It's damning. And the NBA placed Rozier on immediate leave. Now let's talk about Chauncey Billups, 5-time All-Star, 2004 NBA champion with the Detroit Pistons, NBA Finals MVP, Hall of Famer inducted just last year in 2024, and now accused of being a face card in a Mafia-backed poker scheme. The FBI says that starting in 2019, Billups was used to lure wealthy gamblers into rigged underground poker games in Manhattan, Las Vegas, Miami, and the Hamptons. These weren't casual card nights. These were high-stakes operations backed by organized crime families. The technology? Straight out of a spy thriller. X-ray tables that could read cards face down. Poker chip tray analyzers sending real-time data to off-site operators. Contact lenses and special glasses that could read pre-marked cards. Rigged shuffling machines controlled remotely. Billups was on the cheating team. His job? Win just enough to keep it believable, but not so much that victims got suspicious. Except in April 2019, during a game in Las Vegas, Billups started winning too much. The organizers panicked. They had to adjust the system mid-game because their Hall of Fame decoy was too good. Victims lost at least $7.15 million since 2019. And here's the kicker. Billups is also listed in the indictment as co-conspirator 8. Someone who allegedly provided insider information about the Trailblazers to bettors in 2023. His lawyer, Chris Haywood, issued a powerful statement. To believe that Chauncey Billups did what the federal government is accusing him of is to believe that he would risk his Hall of Fame legacy, his reputation, and his freedom. Furthermore, Chauncey Billups has never and would never gamble on basketball games, provide insider information, or sacrifice the trust of his team and the league. Portland placed him on immediate leave. Assistant coach Tiago Splitter is now running the team. And then there's Damon Jones, former NBA player, former Cavaliers assistant coach, and LeBron James's close friend and shooting coach. Jones had access, not as an employee, but as LeBron's personal workout partner during the 2022 to 2023 season. He was allowed in restricted spaces, team planes, locker rooms, hotels, and according to the FBI, he weaponized that access. February 9th, 2023, 2 days after LeBron broke Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time scoring record. Lakers versus Milwaukee Bucks. LeBron wasn't on the injury report yet, but Damon Jones knew. He texted his co-conspirator, "Get a big bet on Milwaukee tonight before the information is out. LeBron is out tonight. Bet enough so Jones can eat too sick now." LeBron sat out with ankle soreness. The Bucks won 115 to 106. Then on January 15th, 2024, Jones allegedly sold information about Anthony Davis being injured for $2,500. His co-conspirator bet $100,000 against the Lakers. The twist? AD played 38 minutes, dropped 27 points and 15 rebounds, and the Lakers won 112-105. The bettor demanded his $2,500 back. Jones insisted the information was credible. LeBron James had no idea. According to The Athletic, a league source confirmed LeBron was completely unaware Jones was selling information about his injury status. This is betrayal at the highest level. Your friend, your shooting coach, someone you trusted with your body and career, selling your secrets to gamblers. On Friday night, during Amazon Prime's first NBA broadcast of the season, Celtics versus Knicks, Commissioner Adam Silver finally broke his silence.
My initial reaction was I was deeply disturbed. There's nothing more important to the league and its fans than the integrity of the competition. And so I had a pit in my stomach. It was very upsetting.
Silver admitted the NBA investigated Rozier in 2023 after sportsbooks flagged the aberrational betting patterns, but they found insufficient evidence to sanction him. Now, the FBI has evidence the NBA didn't have, and the league looks blindsided. Golden State Warriors head coach Steve Kerr was one of the first to speak out. Before Thursday's game against Denver, Kerr didn't hold back about the pressure gambling puts on players.
The biggest thing is that our players face a lot of wrath of fans. You know, I know I've talked to our guys. Our guys get nasty social media posts from people who have bet on games, and that's the thing that I don't like, you know, about this the most. I mean, just you know, our players should not have to deal with that, but they do. They probably would anyway. You know, even if we didn't have a partnership with these companies. So it's just kind of the modern life, you know, social media, everyone having access to everyone else. And yeah, it's rough. I mean, I feel bad for our guys. I've gotten some emails in the past, like, you know, from people I don't know saying, hey, thanks a lot. I had money on the game tonight, and you screwed up by subbing so-and-so in, or something like that. And, you know, I've gotten those too. It's weird.
Kerr emphasized that every team in the league holds annual meetings with legal counsel about gambling rules. Detroit Pistons coach J.B. Bickerstaff added, "We see now what those things can turn into and how they can spread, just how valuable this information is. It's a difficult situation overall. Once you introduce gambling the sports world has now, there's going to be some very dangerous situations out there." Clippers coach Tyronn Lue, who calls Billups his best friend, was devastated.
Just sad that, you know, like I said, Sean's my best friend, and I had to go through something like this, the allegations, his family, my goddaughters, you know, so it was a tough day, and you never want to see your friends go through anything like that.
And then Stephen A. Smith added gasoline to the fire. On ESPN's First Take, Smith suggested this was political, that Trump, through FBI Director Kash Patel, was targeting the NBA as revenge for the league's past activism.
You don't see the director of the FBI having a press conference. It's not coincidental. It's not an accident. It's a statement. And it's a warning that more is coming. Mm-hmm. And that's what they're saying here. And everybody better, I'm just telling you, it's as serious as it gets.
Smith referenced Trump's history with the NBA, calling them a political organization in 2020 after players protested police shootings and racial inequality. But Kash Patel wasn't having it. On Fox News' Ingram Angle, Patel destroyed Smith's theory.
I'm the FBI director. I decide which arrests to conduct and which not to conduct. That may be the single dumbest thing I've ever heard out of anyone in modern history, and I live most of my time in Washington, D.C. It's right up there with Adam Schiff. We arrest people for crimes.
Patel clarified the investigation has been ongoing since 2019, long before Trump's return to the White House. Still, the timing is suspicious to some. Opening week of the NBA season. Maximum media attention, maximum embarrassment. Remember Victor Wembanyama's opening night? 40 points, 15 rebounds, 3 blocks, 15 of 21 shooting. A performance for the history books, joining Karl Malone, Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, Walt Bellamy, and Anthony Davis as the only players to open a season with 40 to 15 stat lines. The 21-year-old French phenom dominated Cooper Flagg and the Dallas Mavericks 125-92. He looked like a future MVP. It should have been the story of the week. Instead, it was buried. The next morning, every headline, every segment, every conversation was about the FBI and gambling. Wemby's brilliance was collateral damage in a scandal that swallowed the league whole. So where does the NBA go from here? How many games were manipulated that we never caught? The FBI alleges at least 7 games involving Rozier, but there are 9 unnamed co-conspirators. How deep does this go? Could team decisions, sitting stars, weird rotations, load management have been influenced by gambling whispers? Every coaching decision is now under a microscope. Was that rest day legitimate? Or was someone getting paid? Did the NBA know more than they're admitting? Silver admitted they saw aberrational behavior in 2023, but cleared Rozier anyway. Did they prioritize protecting the sport's image over investigating further? Is the league's partnership with gambling companies a conflict of interest? The NBA makes billions from betting partnerships. Can they really police the integrity of a game when they're profiting from wagers on it? And the biggest question, is this the tip of the iceberg? If a Hall of Fame coach, an active all-star caliber player, and a trusted friend of LeBron James were all compromised, who else might be involved? The NBA opened its 2025-26 season with hope. New stars, new storylines, the return of Victor Wembanyama. Instead, it got the worst scandal since the Tim Donaghy referee betting scandal, and maybe worse. Billups and Rozier are on indefinite leave. Damon Jones faces federal charges. LeBron's name is dragged into headlines. The Mafia is back in professional sports, and fans are left wondering, can we even trust what we're watching? Adam Silver called it deeply disturbing, but disturbing doesn't begin to cover it. This is a crisis of integrity, a crisis of trust, a crisis that threatens everything the NBA has built. If you want to stay updated on this developing story, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This scandal isn't over. It's just getting started. The game will go on. The season will continue. But for the NBA, October 23, 2025 will be remembered as the day the league learned that when you dance with the devil of sports betting, sometimes the devil leads.